Demand the McCoy. The Triumph lets you know what a real sports car is all about. Big power, 4-speed stick, disc brakes, bucket seats. See the TR4 at your local Triumph dealer.
This is Walt McCauley's 1963 Triumph TR4. It's been a California car all of its life, and he's owned it since 1974. It's got a Surrey top with both hard and soft roof panels, and has magnesium American Racing Silverstone wheels, just like the works Shell 4000 rally cars in the period. It's been a 50-year labor of love that's more about the process of methodically working on it than adding miles. So let's take a closer look at this Triumph. We know from the Heritage Trust Certificate that it was assembled on September 28, 1962, and was shipped from the King George Dock in Hull in October of that year, aboard the Bonanza. It left the factory signal red with a black leather interior. It was delivered to and sold new in Los Angeles, California. Its earliest history remains a mystery. It made its way to Northern California, and Walt purchased the car from a coworker in August of 1974. It had been impounded for parking tickets, and for the price of bail, it was his. At some point, it had been resprayed black, and had accumulated more than a few dings, dents, and scratches. But the bones were good, and it was essentially a rust-free car that just needed some attention. After purchase, the first big push of work was to rebuild the numbers-matching engine. That involved the repair of a cracked cylinder head, a valve job, cylinder honing, a new timing chain, and turning the crank. The original radiator was also repaired, and through the years, it's been maintained, with new hoses in the mid-2000s and several carburetor rebuilds, most recently in December 2023. Back in 1975, while the engine was out for the rebuild, progress was made on the body as well. Front and rear lower valances were replaced, and all dents and creases were repaired by International Auto House Body Shop of Hayward, California. They also resprayed the signal red in acrylic lacquer. And it's still quite presentable today. Here's the interior as it was in 1975, and as it is now. The aftermarket Racemark steering wheel is the largest departure from stock. The seats are actually from a '64 TR4 that were sourced at the wrecking yard and recovered in vinyl around 2010. Carpets and door rubbers were also replaced around that time. There's a small mark on the rear vinyl panel and some wrinkling on the side panels. And you can see that the push clips on the driver's seat rear panel occasionally loosen and pop out. But since first filming, the seat was removed, the clips replaced, and it now stays in place. The gauges are clear and fully functional. The dash pad is in excellent shape. The door panels are presentable. There is a small tear at the front edge of the passenger door map pocket. The footwells are tidy and underneath are solid. Moving into the trunk, the spare tire cover panel is missing the leather straps that hold it in place. And the floor panel has been shot with Zilotone at some point, but shows no signs of damage or repair. And the original spare, and that's literally probably the original spare tire itself too. The glass is original, and overall, the rubber, which has been replaced, is in good shape. There is a faint wiper scratch on the windshield here. The only rubber showing age is located below the rear window of the hardtop. And we don't know the origin of this seemingly non-standard gas cap, but it's a cool detail. Both tops for the Surrey top are present. This soft top was sourced in England in the 1980s. And the original aluminum hardtop has been with the car all along. There are a few paint cracks around the edges and light scratches, and the captive nut at the rear passenger side connection is no longer in captivity. Oh, there we go. From the bottom side, the frame is solid, and the original floor panels show no signs of corrosion or damage. The transmission was resealed in 2009, and the spin-on oil filter replaced the canister-style one in 2010. As with most British sports cars, the occasional drip isn't unheard of. Front suspension and brakes were redone in the 1980s. Wheels and tires. We've already mentioned how cool the American Racing Silverstones are, but let's talk about the tires for a minute. These tubed 185 SR15 Pirelli CF67s date back to 1975 and show a fair amount of age cracking. Let's take a closer look at the paint and bodywork. Under the bumper, the front valance is straight. And the rear is quite good also. There are some thin spots and scratches in the rockers on both sides. There are a couple of dings in the front overriders. And check the auction photo gallery for various chips and paint imperfections. This is on the hood. This is the left front fender. Passenger door. This is both a crack and a slight crease. The driver's door side mirror isn't mounted, but you've got options.
Not original, but
what was on it?
The woman put on.
That was on it.
Looks like
got options.
55 Oldsmobile.
The top of the right front fender. There are a number of things to point out around the trunk. There's a chip at the seam. There are some chips on the trunk lid itself. And some age cracking near the hinges. The fit of the trunk itself isn't perfect. There's some variation in the gaps side to side. The taillight rings show some pitting. The right side door handle is not bad. The driver's side shows some scratches. And also, the ignition key does not work the locks on either the doors or the trunk. The top aluminum fender beading is in excellent shape all the way around. Under the hood should be body color, but it was sprayed black. The original red is underneath. A closer look inside the engine compartment at the straight and original inner panels. The door gaps and fit isn't perfect, and there's a perfectly good reason for this. TR4s sit on body pads on the frame, which are shimmed specifically for each car. When those were replaced, the new pads were placed without proper measurement. Fixable? Yes. Easy? It's not super easy and a bit tedious. The paper trail on this TR4 is extensive. Everything ever purchased from 1974 until now is present. Handwritten notes and unused reg stickers corroborate the low mileage added since '75. If you're local to the Bay Area and nostalgic about all the places that are gone, it's a trip down memory lane. A well-organized treasure trove of extra bits and saved parts can also be included.
Coils. Door hinges. Dashboard plate. Transmission mount. Surrey parts.
That's for the top, right?
Sports cars and California have always gone hand in hand. And if you
Demand the McCoy.
this Triumph TR4 could be the one you've been looking for.